Trust. In Tony Soprano's world, it's more than a value, it's survival. And when that trust is broken, it's not fixed with words, it's answered with silence. Sal Bonpensiero wasn't just another guy in the crew, he was part of the foundation, one of Tony's oldest friends, a mentor, a link to Tony's father, Johnny Boy. Sal had been around since the beginning. They came up together, ate together, bled together. He was family, which is what made what happened so devastating. Sal got caught, not by his enemies, not by rivals, but by the feds. He was busted on a heroin charge, a serious one, facing hard time, years behind bars, maybe the rest of his life. And when the cuffs came on and the door slammed shut, Sal made a choice. He flipped.
Be home in time for Christmas with your family, or 25 years in jail. That's what you have to do, Sal.
The FBI gave him two options, rot in a cell or wear a wire, and Sal, the old-school loyalist, cracked under the pressure. Quietly, no big breakdown, just a quiet deal in a cold room. And just like that, he became a tool for the government, planted back into Tony's inner circle like a loaded gun waiting to go off. When he came back, his excuse was simple: back surgery. Said he'd been recovering in Puerto Rico. Tony listened, nodded, but his instincts stirred. Something felt wrong. Sal didn't act like himself. He was distant, jumpy. He avoided heavy conversations, skipped out on jobs, and more than anything, he asked questions. Too many. About schedules, about who was meeting where, about things that weren't his concern. Tony didn't want to believe it. This was Sal, one of his guys, one of his... But doubt has a way of growing fast in their world, especially when the feds start making strange moves. That's when it happened. The wiretap, hidden inside a fish, planted in a seafood shop tied to one of their guys. Ridiculous, but too precise to be random. Tony didn't laugh. He saw what this meant. The feds were getting information from inside, and suddenly all the little red flags around Sal started glowing. But Tony wasn't reckless. He didn't accuse, he didn't confront. He watched, and then he acted. One night, Tony and Silvio went to Sal's house. Not with a crew, not with guns drawn, just the two of them, quiet, controlled, deliberate. Sal wasn't home. That was part of the plan. Tony wanted time to look. Really look. They moved through the house carefully, not ransacking, just reading the room, checking the usual places. In the bedroom, Tony opened a drawer and found a cigar box. It was elegant, personal, the kind of thing a guy like Sal would keep around. But inside, there weren't cigars. There were wires, recorders, transmitters, microphones. Government equipment, the kind of thing only an informant would have. Tony didn't say a word. Silvio didn't either, because the box said enough. The suspicion was now a fact. Tony didn't need anything else. The picture was clear. Sal had flipped, and Tony knew what had to be done. But that didn't make it easy. This wasn't just another rat. This was a man who held his baby daughter, a man who drank in his kitchen, a man who stood next to him when he buried his mother. Still, there are rules, and the life demands payment. A few days later, Tony made the call, a boat ride. Sal came, along with Paulie and Silvio. No soldiers, no noise, just the old crew, one last trip out into the bay. They laughed, talked about old times, pretended for a moment that everything was normal. But beneath the surface, they all knew. The water was calm, but the air was heavy. Tony confronted him, not yelling, not furious, just quiet, like someone confirming the weather. Sal denied nothing. He didn't beg. He didn't run. He knew. And when the time came, they did what they had to do. There was no satisfaction, no victory, just silence. Tony stared into the water as it swallowed another piece of his past. He hadn't just lost a friend. He'd lost a part of himself. And that's the thing. Tony didn't need a recording. He didn't need Sal to confess. Because in this life, you feel betrayal long before you see it. The nervous glances, the strange absences, the conversations that go just a little too long, the questions that shouldn't be asked. And when he opened that cigar box, it confirmed what he already knew in his gut. In Tony Soprano's world, trust is fragile. Once broken, it never returns, and the cost of knowing the truth is carrying it with you forever.